Hi, welcome to my Messy Fingers. I'm Charlie. Scrap and Create sent me this collection to play with. It happens to be Stamperia's Hidden Grove, and I love it. I love all the images that are on it, so I tried to play with them and create something that would be somewhat inviting to actually open up. This measures 9 by 9. It does have a 1 7/8 inch spine. And when I made the album, I wrapped it in a brown, a kind of a warm brown, not a dark brown, but a warm brown cardstock. But then I accented it with this sweet little yellow to help pull some of the yellow out in these elements. It's called Sorbert. And I got it at Cardstock Warehouse. And it's soft, it's mellow, it's not bright in any way. So this is one of the main features. I did cut this entire tree trunk out and I matted it, and then I mounted it on some foam pop-ups so that this would have some elevated height to it. And then I came in here across the bottom with the mushrooms, and I did put some pop-ups here so that these will be all on one level, as well as this cute little mushroom house, and then the key. I put the key over here to kind of cover the lip from this being cut, so that, but that fit in there just beautifully. And then I did fussy cut out Mr. Frog, and then I matted him on some cardstock, and then I put him on some foam pop-ups and I put him right back into place where he was. This is one of the quoted sayings, and I did mat this and put it on foam pop-ups. These are two ephemera pieces. This is an ephemera. This is an ephemera piece. So I've kind of accented those in behind. That's ephemera, ephemera, ephemera. Now I took my Wink of Stella and I went to the fireflies and I did highlight them a little bit, as well as the window. And then here I put in the word home, and then I fussy cut out the ladybug. This strip, this piece right here, is what got cut off right here. So I just saved that piece and I moved it to the back. And then the back of it, I used, there's an A and a B side to this collection. The A side is going to have all of your decorations, all the pertinent images. The B side is going to be softer, and that's what this paper is. So I added one of the fussy cut mushrooms. I added in the ladybug, sorry, and then it took some Wink of Stella and came in here and highlighted the flies. Brown lace for my closure. Lace, how about ribbon? That might work. Okay, so here on this side, this particular piece, this is the same piece here. I just cut strategically so that I had him on the left side. I did fussy cut him out. I mounted him on some brown cardstock, foam popped him up, and then put him right back into place. So there's a little bit of elevation here. And then I left this page alone. And then this piece I left alone. You could put a nice photo right here or hand journaling. And then here on this piece, I did take one of the cutouts and I backed him, traced him onto some brown cardstock, backed him out, and then I just simply glued him across down here on the bottom, and then I made it tuck. But you have wonderful room here to put in a photo, not quite this large, but a good size photo. And then over here on this side, I took the ephemera piece. This is the new dawn. The sun's coming up and she's out dancing, having a wonderful time, but I made a tuck in behind her, and you can still put a decent photo here. I left this page alone, but as you can see, you can still get a decent photo in here and have this all as a nice accent. Over here on this side, we have a bottom and a top tuck for both of these. And when you open it up this side, we have another bottom and top tuck, but you still can commit some pretty decent sized photos on these. And then this is a pocket, and it is a leftover piece, and I fussy cut out one of the mushrooms off the fussy cut page. I cut out this blue mushroom, and then I fussy cut out the snail and made kind of a little stacked housing right here. So you have a nice decent sized pocket, and then this opens up These are out of the 22 maxi pad. They're blank on the back side. So if you make this album, you can leave this in just the cardstock, or you can put these in. You're still going to come in here with a photo to cover this, and you'll have all this as accent. So this side as well as this side. And then you've got nice room right here. That is magnet closed so that it will stay in place. Get this closed back up the right way. I apologize. All right, over here on this side, this page and this page are off the same trim. So when I trimmed it, I wanted this to be my focal point. And then over here, this being cut off a little bit, no big deal, but I put in a beautiful day, and then this is one of the big ephemera pieces that I sat in between these two, and it looks like it's more to the forefront than it is back behind. And then I left these pages alone. You can actually put a decent size photo up here if you want, and still have these elements to accent your photo. And then over here, I took a couple of the small cards, made some photo mats, and it's got a magnet close. And I did the same thing here. Little photo mat, magnet close. You can still put a photo up here if you wish, or you can hand journal. When you open this up further, we have a side pocket over here, and then we've got a couple of more tucks on this side. Ephemera pieces, the acorns, and then we have another nice long pocket. I fussy cut out the heart and just simply put it up here as an extra little decoration. And then I used one of the brass elements to accent this down here. The elements came with the collection, those brass pieces. Okay. And then this piece here, she is actually an image behind here. I took the ephemera piece and covered up the image that's behind here. I wanted to play with her, and then I took one of the ephemera keys, the ephemera butterflies, and that's how I accented that page. Now when you open this up, this piece is off this trim. So this is what's left. You can still put a photo in here, or you can hand journal. And then on this side, I made a small tuck with one of the quoted sayings, but you have lots of room here to put a decent size photo, or just utilize the tuck. And then when you open this up, we have a nice pocket over here. And then we've got a small waterfall here at the base. And I can see already I got this one. All right, so it goes this way. So she is one of the main features. This is the other piece that's to the page that I cut her off of. And in your cut aparts pages is this wheelbarrow with some strawberries. So I fussy cut it out, and then I matted it so it would lift up off the page. And I came in here with a little bit of Wink Stella, and I covered the parts of the strawberry that are lighter, so that there would be a little bit of color there. And then when you open this up, I took Wink Stella to these blue flowers. You can still put a small photo here, or hand journaling. And then on this side, we have another photo mat combo and a tuck in behind it. Open this up. This is simply a photo mat. And then we've got these two that you can put photos here across the bottom, utilizing the flowers to accent above your photo. And then here you can put your photos up here with this collection down here. Now, these three elements are off the same 12 by 12. So I had cut this panel, and what was left over was this one. So when you close this, you can't really tell, but when you open this up, then these are the elements, and then this flips up, and you've got lots of room up here to put photos. And then once this is open, then this piece coincides with this. So I'm trying to think, did I do this? Oh, that's right. So this goes with this. I apologize, but this piece here comes off of from these two here. And then we have the big ephemera piece, the mushroom for the house. And then I highlighted again some of the strawberries and put in the butterfly. And then you've got yourself the tuck here. And when we go to this side, this is one 12 by 12 sheet. I cut to this because I really wanted to control what I've got over here. I didn't do anything. I didn't do any raising. I didn't, though I wanted to, but I left it plain. And then here I put in this the quote that says New Dawn. And then when you open this up, we have a nice pocket on this side. I took one of the ephemera pieces and just placed it down here as a statement piece. So we have a nice pocket. And then this, using one of the larger ephemera of the elf and put it here. You can still put a photo here, letting him accent just below it. And then here's a nice simple little waterfall. And this is one of the ephemera pieces. So then you can get back here, and then you still have this image here. The last one, this is across the top of one of the 12 by 12 papers. And I really didn't want to cut this in half, so I chose to do it this way. So we've got a top flap. And then the corresponding bottom to this is right here. And I did bring in the ephemera piece, the frog, with his little lantern. And then as you open this up, this is another 12 by 12 sheet. And I cut it. I made another little photo mat, and then right behind it is a pocket. And then down here, this is the bottom half to the piece we cut up there. And I cut a 1-inch thin strip here, found a matching scrap piece that would look like it would blend, and this piece is out of the ephemera. So you've got a nice tuck there. I didn't do anything with these two. You can still put photos up here across the top. Then when you open this up in here, I just took some Wink of Stella to the flies here and to the lantern. Over here is a pocket. Now what I did do here was I had cut this piece out of the way. And then that's what I have over here. So I've got the log, the tree stump, and then I trimmed him to fit here. And then I took the balance of the paper and came over here, and then I used the piece that I cut out and brought it over here, and then I used some Wink of Stella here on the windows. And then here we've got, this is one of the trims that came off of one of the top pieces of the 12 by 12s, and I just simply fussy cut it out and I glued it into place. And then this is a one and only trim that is on one of the 12 by 12s. I cut it to size, fussy cut it, and then matted it onto some brown cardstock so that I could make a nice pocket tuck back here in the back of the album. Okay. And that is Hidden Grove. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would consider doing so, please. And if you have not stopped by and shopped at Scrap and Create, please click the links in the description field down below. You're going to find the links to everything. And they would love it if you would spend some time on their site. They've got some fabulous sales going on. So I hope that you will do so, share some love with them. And I've got some more albums coming up, so I hope to see you then. Bye-bye.